Welcome to Death's Head Tarot. Doing a reading tonight for love. And I'm just looking to see what Spirit wants to bring through regarding the collective's love life and what's happening. Okay. Two of Wands, Queen of Cups, and the Magician. It's interesting because I actually pulled cards first, but I wasn't very specific on the question that I was asking, just, regarding a message for the collective. And I pulled both of these cards. And before I pulled cards, once I decided to redo it, I shuffled them very well. And so clearly this message needs to come through. This is the Intuit Oracle Twin Flame. Okay, so just before I start here, I don't necessarily read the cards based on the traditional meanings for the tarot. Usually anything that's like Oracle, I'll read what's in the Oracle, so whether it's from the book or on the card itself. Just take what resonates and leave the rest for someone else. It's a collective reading, so it might not all apply to you. And I think that's about it. All right, so just want to take a look at what's really kind of standing out to me here. I kind of get a feeling here for a story that comes from the images. Okay. It's interesting because I'm feeling like a lot of confusion suddenly. So whoever I'm tapping into, whether it's somebody watching the reading or this is your person, there seems to be some confusion on their behalf. Maybe, it might not be anything crazy. It could just be along the lines of not knowing what to do or even how to talk to you. So the first Intuit card is telepathic messages. Sometimes I feel like you're speaking to me in my head. At times it triggers me because I wonder how much you can see into me. And then the next one is communication. I care about you even when I act like I don't. I'm hiding my true feelings because I feel vulnerable. So I feel like this person, wherever they are, I don't know necessarily that they feel like they have what they need in order to be with you or to speak up and share with you how they feel. But I do feel like there's a lot of intense emotion here. What's interesting, though, is that intensity is kind of being, what's the word I'm looking for? Like dampened. So it's kind of like, instead of that intense, feelings in them being able to burn very brightly, it's like this Queen of Cups is, keeping it calm, keeping it simmering, not letting it boil over. And it's funny because the other thing I'm kind of getting is that if they would just let that happen, then they might actually have the courage to do what it is that they need to do, to let you know how it is that they feel. to recognize that they do have everything that they need, or that they do have what it is that you want. They just don't seem to recognize it. So I'm just going to put these up here, and I just want to pull some cards to clarify a little bit more here. What do we want to know? Why is this person not letting these emotions burn brighter? Why do they kind of feel the need to have such a tight lid on this? Why don't they want to just let what they feel come right up to the surface and out for you to see? Oh, geez. Okay. We have another queen. And we have the death card. Okay. So I feel like something already happened between you and whoever this person is. I don't think this is new. I don't think this is a person that you're unaware of their feelings. And what I'm kind of getting is that it's almost like they want to let it go. They're holding on to the memories here of what you guys had together, what you experienced together. Almost like a currency that they use. And I know that sounds kind of weird, but it's kind of like they see the experiences that they had with you as very affirming of who they are and what they, bring, or what makes them worthy. Now, this doesn't mean that this is, necessarily how it should be done. It isn't necessarily healthy, but they really are, so I'm trying to think of an example here. If there was something that you told them that they were really good at, and not just really good at, but that you really thought highly of them when you were together, or when you were, because I don't necessarily feel like this was a really intense commitment per se. I do think that it was an intense connection. I don't know necessarily that this was like a full-blown commitment to this person. At least not, out in the open. I don't think you guys did things together that communicated to others that you were together. So that being said, I think that if you were telling them this thing about them that was so amazing, and that, it had this huge impact on you, they see that as, well, they must be worthy, or they must not be this bad thing that they think of themselves over here, and instead that they must be this good guy or this good girl or whatever over here. And this is kind of now how they're going about in the world. Like, well, if I do something bad, or I do something wrong, or someone is saying something to me that I've had an interaction with it, it's not, it's not okay that I did this, or it's not okay that I said that. They don't think that it really matters, because, well, they had this experience with you that told them that they were good, that told them that, they were worthy, and somebody loves them despite whatever. And so I don't really have to listen to you. I don't really have anything I need to improve on. I don't have to do things differently. And so it's these memories that they're thinking about that they kind of use as there's like this, there's a word that I'm thinking of, or like an example that I'm thinking of. It's like they can take from it whenever they need to. Whenever they're feeling crappy about themselves, they can take from this, and they don't have to take a look at maybe how to do something differently. So this is an interesting read. Okay, so let me just see here. How is this person feeling right now about you? I don't know how this person is feeling right now about you. And I'm going to do 2 cards. I'm going to do these mixed emotion ones. I don't usually take cards that have fallen just because I like to really make sure I'm concentrating. A little OCD that way. How is this person feeling about you? So I'm going to do one from here, and then I'm going to do one from another deck that I have. I like to use multiple decks just because then I feel like I get lots of different points of the story, and, kind of helps clarify things for people. So how are they feeling about you right now? Okay, so I'm going to do that one. And then I'm also going to do this one here. This deck is called Your Heart Knows the Way by Ellie Shoja. And I actually got this as a Kickstarter. I love decks that have like just amazing art, because I always tell a story with the art. How is this person feeling about you right now? Okay. Oh, yikes. All right. Oh, wow. Okay. So, I kind of feel like this is pretty telling, really. So first we have guilty, blameworthy, responsible, at fault. And then we have look inward to be happy. So for whatever reason that this did not play out, I don't even know if I can say that it was necessarily the way you wanted, but didn't play out the way that it would naturally or typically play out for 2 people. But whatever this person did do or didn't do, they definitely feel very guilty about this. And I think this is part of the reason, like this really fits with this one here, because this one here is telling me that like he or she or they have the tools, but they don't think they do. And so they're not really using them. They're just, I feel like really showing me why. And I think it's because they feel guilty. I am going to look to see why they feel guilty, but, and I feel like this is describing what's going on here. Look inward to be happy, except it's not really, it's not really the way that a person would, in a healthy way, feel happy. Normally, you go inside to see what it is that you need or what you want and how to fulfill those things. But this is more like going inward to remember things, to remember how you kind of boosted their ego. And there it is. Like, it only took me how many minutes to get there? But it's like they're going in to remember how you made them feel like they could do no wrong, or it was really a lot of ego stroking that was happening here. And that's no longer happening anymore. It's gone. So I want to see, what this person did that they feel so guilty about here. I'm just trying to think of what I want to use for cards. And I think I'll probably just go ahead and use my tarot just to see if I can get the biggest, most detailed picture. What did this person do that they're so guilty about, that they feel so guilty? Why does this person feel so guilty? And I'm getting the words used. I think maybe this person used you for this, kind of like it was kind of like using you to to boost their self-esteem, or again, ego. Yeah, they were really using you. And I think even may continue, really kind of continuing to do so when you think about it, because when we think about other people, we are connecting to their energy when we think about them, especially if it's really intensely. So it is kind of like taking some energy from that person. Not literally, but, it's a draw, like you're drawing on them. So, and if both partners are okay with that, like if both partners are in, some form of like, that's fine, or that's what I want, then that's not an issue. But if it's happening for different reasons that aren't really giving to the other person, well, then that's not so great. Okay, so why is this person so guilty? What are they guilty of? I'm going to do 3 here. Okay, so the first thing that's popping out to me here is going around and around in circles. I think this person kept you in a cycle, and you were literally, it's like you never knew what the hell was happening. You never knew where anything was going. I don't know if maybe even you knew what you wanted in this situation, and that's where the confusion came from. Okay, so this is part of the reason why I felt so much confusion. You're unaware of what was happening, where this person was going, what they wanted, what did you even want anymore? And I just really want to look at this one closely. This is the Star card. This is an interesting Star card. Yeah, it's, the other thing I'm getting from this card, I just want to show it because it's really cool. I don't know if you can see that, but there's all these ladies, at least from what I can tell, ladies, I don't know, they're kind of androgynous really, which makes sense because I feel like the lady in the Star card is typically or usually quite androgynous. It's not, overly leaning towards one side or another. But I kind of feel like every time this person kind of started a cycle, and I don't know that it was just them. It could have been both people, reluctantly, you. And I think we've all been there. I think we've all had situations where we wanted out, but then when we had the out, we're like, but do I really want an out? So then we go back into it. So I don't want to blame any one person here. I think people are just, being human and crap happens. And, the idea or the point is really to understand yourself a little bit better and maybe try to do better. But going back to what I was saying, I feel like every time this cycle went around, it took another little piece of you and another little piece of you and another little piece of you. And it was kind of taking your life force, your energy. And I think it probably made it really hard for you to have energy for other things, to focus on other things. And I feel like every time that it happened, there was this, hope or desire that this would move towards something that was more, or was going to give you what it was that, you would like to have in a connection with somebody. So I think that's what they feel guilty about, is that they were taking from you, and it was happening every time this cycle would go around and around and around. But now it would seem that maybe they have learned something here a little bit, and that's that, keeping things under wraps, maybe not letting that really intense energy impact you as much. However, this person really needs to find a different way to recognize their worth. I don't know how great it is to involve memories with you in order to have that self-esteem. It's not very, I don't know, there's something about it that doesn't feel authentic. It doesn't feel right. I mean, I'm sure eventually I'd have the words for it, but so I'm going to pull some guidance for you just to see what might help you in this. I'm going to use my Sacred Traveler Oracle cards, and I think my energy cards as well. So what is some advice for this person, the collective here? Whoever this reading is resonating with, what is some advice for them? Some guidance, how to help. I mean, it doesn't look like you're as invested. I don't really see you showing up a lot, a little bit, but not a lot. But still, I don't think you probably want that happening anymore, because I mean, you only got so much you can give, right? And then you're like, okay, I'm good. Can't just keep giving and not getting something back. So what is some guidance for my watchers regarding this situation? And it's my energy, the Oracle E, which I just really like. Okay, so guidance for my watchers here. Whichever side you resonate with, what is some guidance for my watchers regarding this situation and even this person? Okay. Okay, so the first thing that I'm getting here is, if this person comes back, if they are looking to start another cycle with you, do not be afraid to speak up and say how you actually feel, what you actually think. Even if it's not, overly diplomatic, if it's unfiltered and raw and exactly how you feel this person is treating you, do not be afraid to say something. But at the same time, I also think that it's not just about that part, but it's about maybe staying away from them if you can. Look for some, maybe do things where that person isn't going to be, or, maybe even just stop replying to them if they're messaging you or sending you messages on Instagram or liking your photos, or, yada, yada, yada. Maybe restrict them a little bit on your social media. It's okay to do that. You're not a bad person. Some people are, they just, for whatever reason, it's like they can't seem to see that what they're doing is hurting somebody else. I think that sometimes some people are like, well, if you keep coming, back when I'm reaching out, or you keep being okay with this, then it's probably not hurting you, right? Like, it's probably not doing any damage. I mean, you're an adult, you would say no. And I think that's the important part there. You're an adult, you would say no. You can say no. You can have a boundary. You can draw a line. Don't feel bad for deciding to just leave this person behind. Go somewhere where they can't find you, either literally or metaphorically. And if they do manage to connect with you, be authentic if you can. I know it's scary, but be authentic if you can and tell them exactly how you feel. It's okay to do that. You have permission. You're allowed to speak up and say something. People do it all the time. Okay, that's it for this reading. I hope that it helps you out there in some way. And I will see you again later. Bye.